You walk into the kitchen. You had a reason, a very specific, completely clear reason. You were certain of it approximately 4 seconds ago. And now, nothing. Just you, standing in the kitchen, looking around like a confused tourist in your own home. So you do what everyone does. You stand there for a few extra seconds hoping it comes back. It does not. You walk back to where you came from. And the exact moment, your foot crosses back into the other room. There it is, the reason, obvious, waiting for you like it never left. You are not losing your mind. You are not getting older. You are not more distracted than other people. Your brain did this to you on purpose, and it is genuinely convinced it was helping. This is called the doorway effect. And in 2011, psychologist Gabriel Radvansky at the University of Notre Dame decided to actually study it properly instead of just accepting it as one of those annoying things that happens. He ran a series of experiments where participants carried objects through virtual rooms and physical rooms, sometimes passing through doorways and sometimes just walking the same distance without crossing a threshold. The results were clear and slightly insulting. Crossing a doorway made people significantly more likely to forget what they were carrying or doing. The doorway itself was the problem, not the distance, not the time, not the distraction, the door. Here is what your brain is actually doing. Your brain does not experience your day as one long continuous stream of events. It experiences it as a series of separate episodes, each one filed away when it ends and a new one opened when the next begins. Psychologists call these event boundaries. And your brain has decided, with full confidence and zero input from you, that walking through a doorway means one episode has ended and a new one has begun. So it does what any reasonable filing system would do. It closes the previous file. It tidies things up. It archives the context from the room you just left, the thought you were having, the reason you were moving, and it opens a fresh, clean file for whatever comes next. Your brain is not forgetting. Your brain is filing, aggressively, without asking you first. The most amusing part of all this is that your brain thinks it is being efficient. And in a certain context, it genuinely is. For most of human history, crossing a physical threshold meant something significant. Leaving the cave meant danger. Entering a new territory meant new rules. Your brain learned that boundaries matter and that mentally resetting at a boundary is smart, fast, adaptive behavior. The problem is that your brain cannot tell the difference between crossing into a dangerous new territory and walking from the living room into the kitchen to get a pen. It treats both with the same dramatic sense of occasion. New room, new episode, previous context filed, best of luck to you. Radvansky and his colleagues found something else worth noting. The forgetting is not just about memory capacity or how much you are trying to remember. It happens even when people are specifically trying to hold on to the information, even when they know the doorway is coming. The brain files the context anyway. You cannot outsmart it by concentrating harder. The event boundary fires automatically, the same way your amygdala fires at a loud sound before you consciously register it. It is not a conscious decision. It is architecture. Now, here is the part that will either make you feel better or significantly worse about your own brain. Researchers have found that the doorway effect also works in reverse. When you cannot remember something and you go back to the room where you first had the thought, your brain often recovers the memory. Because crossing back through the doorway reopens the previous episode file. Your brain literally archived the memory in the room it came from. Which means the next time you forget why you walked into a room, the fastest solution is not to stand there staring at the ceiling. It is to walk back. Your brain left a copy in the other room. You can also reduce the effect with a simple habit. Before you cross a doorway with an intention, say the intention out loud or repeat it in your head at the exact moment you step through. This forces the information into active working memory, rather than leaving it as passive background context that the event boundary system will cheerfully archive the second you cross the threshold. It feels slightly ridiculous to whisper getting a pen to yourself as you walk through a door, but it works. Because you are essentially telling your brain that this particular piece of information needs to survive the transition into the new episode. So the next time you find yourself standing in a room with absolutely no idea why you came, do not feel embarrassed. Feel impressed. Your brain just executed a rapid automatic context management system that has been refined over hundreds of thousands of years of human survival. It just executed it slightly too enthusiastically for modern apartment living. You are not forgetful. You are just running very old, very efficient software in a world full of unnecessary doors.